Hey there, you guys. Welcome back. Today is repotting day, and today we are going to be repotting this Philodendron Tortum. So this one I bought probably 2 months ago, maybe a little longer. I can't remember. I think it was at the beginning of winter, and it needs to get repotted. It's in a very dense mix, and it stays wet for too long. I think I've only watered this 2 or 3 times since I got it, and it stays pretty damp. So I'm probably waiting too long. I wanted it to acclimate to my home before I repotted it, and we've had it long enough. So let's get it unpotted, and we will see what's happening with the roots. Give it a chunkier mix, and yeah, this should be exciting. Since it's been here, it has produced a new leaf. I don't know whether you're able to see it there. We'll get a little closer when we do the repotting. But yeah, so we'll do a chunkier mix, and let's just get to it. So I forgot to press record. This is the mix that I'm going to be using for the plant. This is an aeroid mix that I've just created. In here is some coconut coir, the fine coconut coir. I've also got some coconut husk. Let me show you. It's probably 1 part of coconut coir, maybe 2 parts of coconut husk, and then another 2 parts of the bark. This is the bark that I'm using. It's a fir bark, and I'm actually using a Repot bark from the pet food store, the pet store. Here's the bag here, and it is a fir bark. I find that it's cheaper to buy the 24-quart bag than it is to buy the orchid stuff specifically from the plant store. So if you want something a little bit thicker or a bigger chunk, you'll have to go to the plant store. But if you want the fine to medium size, why not try the Repot bark? Now that I'm telling you guys about it, there won't be as much available at the pet store. I think it was $35 for the big bag, and it goes a long way. So anyway, I also added a little bit of slow release fertilizer. Philodendrons or aeroids aren't heavy feeders in general. I added some of this because I'm forgetful with my fertilizing. Yeah, I'm also going to add a little bit of dolomitic lime. This will help buffer the pH, just a very little bit. It'll buffer the pH. As this stuff degrades, it's going to make the soil a little bit more acidic. This is going to help sweeten the soil by keeping it around 6 to 7 on the pH scale. I'm doing that because I'm making my own mix. If you follow Gardening in Canada, Ashley's a soil scientist and she goes all over this stuff. So check out her channel if you'd like, Gardening in Canada, and yeah, get some great information about soil and how to grow your plants better. Anyway, this is going to be the mix that I'm going to use. Let's go ahead and start with the repot. Okay, so this little Philodendron Tortum, it's adorable. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but it is what it is. I'm going to be transplanting it back into the same pot. I just want to make sure that the soil that it's in, the medium that it's in, is airy enough. As you can see, it is definitely not an aeroid mix. It is more of a peat with a little bit of perlite mix, and I'm not seeing a heck of a lot of roots in here. Probably should have repotted this a little sooner. Give it a little shaky shake. I did get 1 new leaf while it was in my care. I haven't had this for very long. Like I said, maybe 2 months. Let's see here. There's 1 nice white root there. These are still okay roots. They're not, oh, that one looks like it's a dead root. Okay. We want to make sure that we remove any of the dead, rotted roots. The tortum, from what I understand, doesn't want to dry out completely, but it doesn't want to sit in soggy soil. You need to have good airflow to the roots to have it grow best. Was breaking off. Oh, it must be the lower leaves I've broken off with my fingers, not realizing. So I'm just going through and I'm trying to determine, because they're so small, the good roots from the bad roots. The bad roots seem to be just breaking off. Let me go get a bowl of water. I'm just going to dunk the roots in water. I could probably see them better if I do that. Move this other soil out of the way. We're not going to need that. Okay, got a little bowl of water. I was going to rinse them off in the sink, but I didn't want all the soil to go down the drain. All right, so we're getting the roots cleaned off. Starting to see them a little bit better. Being careful, I don't want to damage the roots too much. They don't look bad. They look better now that the soil has been taken off of them. They do look white. They're not looking too bad, as you can see. So I'm just going to get rid of this bowl, and we're just going to pot this up. Okay, so I'm not going to water this in right away. Actually, I might use a different pot. Use one of this pot here. And it is... I'm not going to water it right away because I don't want the I want the roots to be able to callus over. So adding a little bit of soil to the bottom of the pot, I'm going to spread these little roots out as best I can. I don't want them all to just be straight down. There we go. And I want to carefully, let's move this up. I want to carefully add some soil in. Again, I want to separate the roots as best I can. I don't want them all in the same spot if possible. Just gently pushing these in, stabilizing the plant. Hopefully it likes this better. This pot is actually a little bit wider, but a little bit shorter, so it should be just fine. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do for now. Fingers crossed it does well after this transplant. I'm a little sad to see that the roots were not that great. They are a little small because the plant is a little small. As the plant gets bigger, the roots tend to get a little bit bigger, but those were a little tiny. If that was on a bigger plant, I would say that those roots were dead, but because the plant is so small, it is what it is. So fingers crossed. I should give this a little bit of humidity for a little while as it recovers. But all in all, I have this in my south-facing window that has an obstructed view. It's got a nice overhang from a porch. So it right now in the wintertime, it gets the most sun. In the summertime, it is bright indirect all day long. So except for in the morning, I guess. So again, these guys don't want to dry out completely, but they don't want to stay wet either. So those happy mediums, if you're good with philodendron, supposedly the tortum is a good one for you. Supposedly it's an easier one to keep alive. Anyway, I'll be the judge of that. I kill a lot of philodendrons. So anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing and wish me luck.